Hello and welcome to this new Mayastar 7 video about the texture baking features. Okay, so let's open up the texture bake manager, and today we're going to take a look at the last and most extensive feature of all of those available in here. So texture transfer, last time we have seen the option from dummy. Okay, so now if we just click on the from dummy, we automatically switch to the fromObject option. Okay, and we have quite a few things more over here that we can play with. So right now we have a MayaStar body in the scene, and this tool has automatically detected its presence and added the object names to this list down here. Now this list here is the association list, and you will see that over here it's automatically added the target object type tag over here. Alright, so what this tool is intended for is to help you move object data or texture data from an object to another object using associations. All right, so let's take a look at what we have here. So we have some sort of mechanical implant on the avatar, okay, and some of which, like this one on near the wrist, was purposely placed between the body and the hand. Okay, same thing happens down here. Okay, so these are purposely placed between one piece and the other. Alright, so associations work in a tree type of list hierarchy here. So I'm going to select the body, and I'm going to select all of the objects that I want to have the textures transferred over to the body. So this one here, all right, I'm going to do add selected. You see that now we have a sort of tree type of structure. Okay, this one we don't want it to, in any case, transfer over the feet or the hands. So feet and hands will not have this object here. Okay. Now for this one here, I want it to transfer both to the arm and this hand. Okay, so I'm going to add it to the hands. But then, to demonstrate the purpose, I don't want this one to transfer over to the body, but only to the hand. It doesn't really make sense, but just to demonstrate the point of the associations that we have done here. And then these two will have to go on both feet and body. All right, and you can see over here that the objects now have a tag or label as target, and the other objects that will be used as source are tagged as source. They're the source for the normal map, they're the source for the color, they're the source for the ambient occlusion that we have down here. Okay, so with this explained, let's move on to the actual section down here. So we can choose to have color map, normal map, and ambient occlusion map. And the normal map also can be created to work in a DirectX type of applications, like in Substance Painter or Substance Designer, if you want to create base normal maps for inserts on the avatar, or as we will see next in the next video, for objects, because this works also for any kind of object. All right, we can just generate the normal maps directly in DirectX format if we want to. So we can have one or more. We cannot have none selected. It will just stop you and tell you, okay, just tell me at least one texture map that you want. Okay, and then let's do all of the three. And then we have two options here, the search distance in centimeters and the dilation distance, and this is in pixels for the textures. So the search distance here in centimeters by default is set to 5, but you most likely want it to be set at a higher distance. This is something that you should think of as if your object here are in meters. So the avatar, you have to imagine the avatar to be set in meters, and also the objects to be set in meters. Of course, we provide here the thing also to scale up the avatar to meters, and that will be taken into account in case you do. Okay, and of course the objects that you want to bake will be already meter scaled, but in this case it's centimeters and it will be taken care of automatically. So just imagine that one of these units here is 1 meter. So how far away from the avatar or the target object surface the emit occlusion and normal map should be looking for the other objects information, like the normal map information, emit occlusion information, and color information. So in this specific case, probably something like 10 centimeters should be plenty, if not even too much. But it's so quick that we can perform more and more trial and errors. And now the dilation distance. 5 is a good, usually is a good value when you're doing the baking for a full UV map that needs to be filled completely and then bleed over the boundaries of the UV map. But in this case, we will see what that means. Now, two key features here are the mismatch mode and the alpha texture mode. So mismatch mode means when this is on, it will bake the normal map of the surface of our target objects and put the mismatching normal, so the object's normals, on top of it. When it is off, it will be projecting on the UV maps of the target object, and we'll just do the object's normal map, and only that, without the target normal map just beneath it. So it's easier seen than done. Okay, so I will start with alpha texture off and mismatch mode on, and I will bake it. Okay, we will have two options. So I bake, and again, as usual, second life map or the pelted map. Let's do the pelted map. Okay, we can see already the emit occlusion, that is the one that usually takes longer. And yes, we want to open that. Great. And let's open this with photos, so it takes longer. It doesn't take longer. All right, And here we can see that the base normal map was uh, baked, and it's of course completely flat, and the object's normal maps have been added on top. Okay, so these are the feet, and here the hands. All right, cool. So this was for the alpha texture off and mismatch mode on. Okay, and the nomenclature here is with date and time. So you can do different iterations with this tool because you probably want to develop the look and the search distance and everything correctly for the kind of objects that you want to bake the textures from or for. Okay, so the next is mismatch mode off. Okay, so let's bake that. Again, pelted. All right. So these ones here should have this open. These ones here, as you can see, are just the parts. And it's also completely black, and it has some dilation applied to it. Okay? Because everything's completely empty, it's dilating where it baked. So in this case, most likely, you could use these to in Photoshop to assemble different layers of normal map and maybe adjust them manually if needed and make better compositions. In this case, it's probably best to use alpha texture and zero out the dilation. So if we bake that again pelted, here it doesn't look any different, but over here instead, how do we move? Okay, it's not going to the other ones. So open with photos. Okay. So this is the color. Okay, it's not going back and forth. So that's unfortunate. So again, photos. Okay. So you see here the normal map. This is very small because for time sake and you know, just for testing, we have a quite low resolution to begin with. But you can see here that as opposed to the other ones, this doesn't have the dilation. So if we compare this normal map to this other one, can't add it like that. Too bad. Okay. You can see that here some dilation has been applied. Okay, don't mind the jagged edges, it's very low resolution. Okay, and you can see that there is a difference. This looks like it's square and this is just more rounded. Okay, so this is what it is for, basically. So if we take, for example, in Photoshop, that normal map there, and we want to change something on that one, as soon as Photoshop opens, you see, if we want to just move this part here and move it like this, yeah, not really ideal or optimal, right? So instead, if we zoom out and use the other one, you can see that it's completely transparent. It's exactly the same, right? Okay, but the difference is that we can just take one part, for example, move tool. Oh, come on. Oh, that's because it's okay, rasterize. Okay, and then maybe you can do some manipulation here and there if you really need to. Okay, so this is a set of quite powerful tools. Okay, this is a set of quite powerful tools to transfer some textures made from objects that could have their own materials with their own normal maps and their own colors. Let's make an example with this. So let's take these. And we will assign another material to it, like a blend. All right. Okay, let's change the color to red. And I'm going to use a fractal. Okay, and I'm going to use it as a bump map. Now that will make it quite rough. Okay, probably, yeah, this needs to have some better UVs, but you get the point. Oops. Okay. Right, and yeah. Okay, so the normal map is too powerful. Or the bump map in this case. Okay, so we want some normals showing up, but not that much. Okay. So we have some color, we have some normals, all nice and set up to have a sort of material, and we're going to bake it. So yeah, belt it. Okay, and so you can see that the color has been transferred over. This is the ambient occlusion as before. And then we have the normal map, which is too small, but there is some difference. So let's make this bigger. Yeah, I need to also show you the three different options. 512 is a test, standard quality, and high quality. These will take a little bit longer, of course, but it's gonna show the thing better. And usually the one that takes longer is the ambient occlusion. So look at it, and we can see that the bump map, if we get closer, the bump map was included in the object normal map transferred over to the avatar. So now that it is like 2K, it's it's visible, right? And you also have the option, let's close a few of these, save, so I can spare some memory. All right, and you can also see that we could have done this directly to the Second Life Avatar UV map. So just to make it more apparent, because the Second Life Avatar UV maps will be a little bit more distorted. So this is way stronger. Okay, if we bake this and choose Second Life map, so as you can see here, with the same time, okay, around the same time, we can see that all of the sections of the body have been baked with albedo, ambient occlusion, normals for each single body part. Okay, so we have lower 0 albedo, lower 0 ambient occlusion, lower 0 normals, and then yeah, here they are. Now it updated my screen. Upper 0 albedo, upper 0 ambient occlusion, upper 0 normals, upper 1 again albedo occlusion normal, lower 0 and 1 albedo occlusion normal, etc., etc. Okay, so just to see that better in context, I'm gonna set it back to 512 so it doesn't take that much. And I'm going to use a mismatch mode without alpha textures so you can see how that relates to a Second Life UV map. So imagine all of these sections of the body and 3 maps each one, how long that will be would be taking to set up manually. Okay, now it's done. And then you see that we've got the Second Life Avatar UV map, also with the left foot and the left arm separated for BOM mix and mesh features on the avatar, so that you can create asymmetrical whatever. All right, and yeah, we have a complete tool set for baking over there on the avatar. The only thing that is missing, but that is a limitation of Maya itself, is the baking of a normal map on the avatar itself. Okay, because it is deformed by a skin, the normal map will always look flat. Okay, and therefore we cannot combine the textures directly from here. However, that thing is something that is available for other types of objects, and therefore that will be the main topic of the next video. So how to use this tool for baking for your own objects. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.